In the 21st century, the NFL has transitioned towards a much more pass-happy league. Gone are the days where the majority of teams are building their offense around a game-changing 1,000-yard running back. That said, the running back position is still an extremely important one. If you have a guy who can rip a big play at any given moment, your chances of winning are always going to be that much better. There is no shortage of elite running backs in this day and age. On that note, let's dive into a list of the 10 most insane runs by active NFL running backs. But first, here are a couple of honorable mentions. Matt Breida's Monday Night Marathon run. The San Francisco 49ers offense was carried by their ground game in the 2019 season. The unit guided them to 13 wins and a Super Bowl 54 appearance, where they fell to the Kansas City Chiefs. Kyle Shanahan used a running back by committee approach throughout the season. From Tevin Coleman to Raheem Mostert to Matt Breida, there was simply no stopping them. And the Cleveland Browns learned this the hard way when they visited the 49ers in Week 5 on Monday Night Football. Let's just say this run from Breida was only the start of a long night for Cleveland. Dalvin Cook's 75-yard touchdown versus the Packers. Following a disappointing 2018 season, the Minnesota Vikings decided to build the offense around their dynamic running back, Dalvin Cook, instead of quarterback Kirk Cousins. And boy, it did wonders, as the Vikings won 10 games to earn a wildcard spot. Without Cook, the Vikings probably wouldn't have reached the postseason. Arguably, his best play of the season took place in Week 2 against the Green Bay Packers, when Cook broke off a 75-yard run to put Minnesota on the board. Though the Vikings lost 21-16, Cook finished the game with a season-high 154 yards. But now, let's get to the top 10. Number 10. Nick Chubb's record breaker versus Falcons. The Cleveland Browns found excellent value when they drafted Georgia running back Nick Chubb with the 35th overall selection in the 2018 draft. He tuned in a superb rookie season along with quarterback Baker Mayfield, the first overall pick that same year. Chubb finished his first professional season with 996 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, and 92 of those yards came on a franchise record-setting play against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 10. On this play, Chubb went 92 yards on the house, the longest run ever in franchise history. That's right, even franchise icon Jim Brown didn't have a run like this. Beginner's luck? Nah, Chubb is just that good. He just barely missed out on the 2019 rushing title, but I expect him to compete for many more. Number 9. Run CMC goes for a 76-yard touchdown. Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey had one of the greatest seasons ever for a running back in 2019. He recorded 1,387 rushing yards and 1,005 receiving yards, joining Roger Craig and Marshall Faulk as the only RBs to reach the 1,000 club. With Cam Newton injured for most of the season, the Panthers built their offense entirely around Run CMC. And even though defenses knew what was coming every single time, they still didn't have an answer for the son of former Denver Broncos star Ed McCaffrey. The Arizona Cardinals learned just how tough it is to contain McCaffrey on this play during their Week 3 contest. No, don't feel bad, guys. McCaffrey does that to everybody. Number 8. Le'Veon Bell dances his way to the end zone. From 2014 to 2017, there simply wasn't a more dominant running back than Le'Veon Bell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This guy was dangerous in open space and had an uncanny ability to use his patience to find holes behind a dominant Steelers offensive line. After a solid 2013 rookie season, Bell asserted himself as the NFL's top running back in 2014. He finished that year with 1,361 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, and 83 receptions for a whopping 854 yards to go along with 3 receiving TDs. Bell had many great moments as a Steeler, and it's too bad that the partnership ended after 5 seasons. I mean, the Steelers' offense was that much more dangerous when they had a guy making plays like this one, which came during a 2014 Week 1 contest against Cleveland. Number 7. Lamar Miller's Monday Night 97-yard dash. Fun fact, Lamar Miller had a 97-yard rushing touchdown for the Miami Dolphins in Week 17 of the 2014 season against the New York Jets, and somehow, 4 years later, Miller managed to top that 97-yard TD with an even better 97-yard score. Miller's second career 97-yard touchdown took place in a Week 10 2018 Monday Night Football game between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Even though the Titans defense knew the running play was coming, they simply had no answer for Miller's elusiveness here. How many fantasy football matchups were won and lost on that play? Number 6. David Johnson's unstoppable TD versus Eagles. Former Arizona Cardinals star David Johnson was among the biggest must-haves in fantasy football for a brief period. He was a key weapon in the Arizona offense during the 2015, 2016, and 2018 seasons. Johnson was an especially important piece in Arizona's remarkable 2015 season, one that saw them win 13 games en route to an NFC Championship game appearance. Johnson put the NFL on notice in Week 15 against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football when he recorded a season-high 187 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on the night. But without a doubt, this was his best play of the game. In this Battle of the Birds, the Cardinals won, thanks in large part to their dominant ground game. Number 5. Saquon Barkley's first career touchdown. The New York Giants had a pressing need at quarterback ahead of the 2018 draft, with Eli Manning nearing retirement. They had several quality QB prospects to choose from, including Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and Lamar Jackson. But the Giants just couldn't pass up on Penn State running back Saquon Barkley with the number 2 pick. This guy was widely regarded as the greatest running back prospect in years, so the Giants passed on all those QBs and took Barkley instead. But those who questioned the Giants' decision to take Barkley quickly got their answer in the form of this epic touchdown run against the Jacksonville Jaguars during his NFL debut. How many players have had a career first touchdown that's as epic as this one? Barkley, by the way, won Offensive Rookie of the Year honors after rushing for 1,307 yards and 11 touchdowns, to go along with 91 receptions for 721 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. Number 4. LeSean McCoy dashes through the snow. Dashing through the snow with the workhorse running back. Over the field we go, running all the way. Sorry about that. The Philadelphia Eagles hosted the Detroit Lions in Week 14 of the 2013 season. This game is widely referred to as the Snow Bowl because the field looked more like Winter Wonderland. I'm assuming most players hate playing in the snow, but then Philadelphia Eagles running back LeSean McCoy embraced the wintry conditions with perhaps the most memorable performance of his career. McCoy went off big time against the Lions here. He had 217 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. The Lions defense could not stop him, and the snow couldn't stop him either. This guy was just unstoppable. McCoy's 2 touchdowns were both a thing of beauty, but the first one was just a tad bit prettier. Number 3. Derrick Henry goes 99 yards. The Tennessee Titans hosted the AFC South rival Jacksonville Jaguars on Thursday Night Football in Week 14 of the 2018 season. Yes, the Jaguars were well out of the playoff race at this point, but that Saxonville defense was finding ways to keep them in games. It wasn't easy running the ball through the middle on that stacked Jacksonville front 7, but the Titans defense made a phenomenal goal line stand, giving their offense the ball at their own 1-yard line. Backed up against their own end zone, Tennessee had no choice but to feed Derrick Henry for at least a minimal gain to give them some breathing room. But Henry had more than just a minimal gain on his mind. That run had it all. For starters, he went the maximum distance, then the stiff arms, then the tightrope run down the sidelines. But most importantly, he made it all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. Number 2. Adrian Peterson can't stop, won't stop. Adrian Peterson is without a doubt the best running back of the 21st century. He has 7 Pro Bowl selections, the 2012 MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards, and 3 rushing titles all to his name. What more do you want to know? There are dozens of runs by Peterson that we could have thrown on this list. It was practically impossible to come up with just one, but we somehow found a way to do it. We had to go all the way back to the Minnesota Vikings Week 1 road game against the Cleveland Browns from the 2009 season. AP had one of his best career outings that day. 180 yards and 3 touchdowns on 25 carries. But his best run of the day came in the waning minutes of the 4th quarter, with the Vikings looking to put the game away. You cannot stop him, you can only contain him. Number 1. Giovani Bernard, not how you start, but how you finish. He's not a Pro Bowler, he's not a future Hall of Famer, he's not a household name by any means. But veteran Cincinnati Bengals running back Giovani Bernard holds the honor of the greatest running play by an active NFL tailback.
Bernard had a productive rookie year for the Bengals in 2013, finishing with 695 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns to go along with 56 receptions for 514 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those were good numbers for a rookie running back and all, but Bernard's 2013 campaign can be summed up in one play. Allow us to take you back to the Week 9 Thursday night game between the Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Cincinnati trailed by 7 points early in the fourth quarter. Bernard took a toss and ran to the right, where he was met by Miami defenders. That's when, in an act of desperation, Bernard reversed course to the other side of the field, and he somehow went from a potential big loss to a highlight reel touchdown. That was like Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, and Adrian Peterson all in one. The resilience, the elusiveness, the burst of speed. Bernard had it all on that play, making it an easy choice for our #1 spot on this list. But what do you think? What other insane runs by current NFL running backs should we be included on this list? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thank you for watching and we'll see you guys next time.